Okay, we'll begin
Hare
with prayers. Hare Krishna. I welcome you all for today's session. Let us start with prayers. Narayanam namaskritya naram. Sorry. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopkumaraय Govindaय Namo Namaha. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam tam sajivam sadvaitam savadutam parijana sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I seek blessings from all of you so that whatever I speak is in parampara and for the pleasure of Lord and for my purification. So once again, I welcome you all. Whoever can switch on their videos, please switch on the videos and we will start.
Mataji, volume is little low, Mataji.
Is it okay?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to share 1 or 2 points from last class.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
We are in the chapter, the Pandavas retire timely.
Correct.
Yesterday class was also very, very nice. Purports, very beautiful purports. Actually, yesterday we saw about how Yudhishthira Maharaj retires, and he leaves the palace. He retires from his royal duties. And then just to set as an example for others, he's doing like this. Because he understood, like Yudhishthira was intelligent enough to understand the Kali Yuga, the characteristics of Kali Yuga, all that we saw, avarice, falsehood, everything in detail we saw, Mataji.
Okay.
And what are the symptoms of these Kali Yuga, everything. And still, we have some 427,000 years to go. And so, those who are under the protection of the Lord, we have nothing to fear of this Kali Yuga. Because of this godless civilization, only all these are happening. We saw that. And how he prepares, the 38-39, 2 verses we saw, how he prepares to leave, how he makes all the proper arrangements for all the people before he leaves, right? So he's handing over the throne to Parikshit Maharaj and all that we saw yesterday. And and Nama Bhasha we saw. It is the only thing which is, there is still hope for all of us. even in this age of disparity, there can be spiritual evolvement and God consciousness. So that we saw, Mataji. Then, yeah, I think 2 points I told. Anyone else?
Thank you so much, Mataji. You are
Thank
so
you, Mataji.
eager to share points from last class.
The learning also for us, Mataji.
Huh?
Because when we say only, we realize how many, how
What all things
yeah.
were spoken and no, really what we can share with others.
And one more main thing, Mataji, how Yudhishthira Maharaj is compared to Lord Ramachandra. It's very
Okay.
beautiful point we saw that. So many things we saw. I could remember only these. Thank you,
Wow.
Mataji.
Your remembrance is very good, I must say. Yes, anybody else wants to share?
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Yes.
when he is planning that this is the time to retire, he immediately quits all his gold ornaments, everything. He immediately quits that status and he's preparing to leave Mataji. That point we saw. And nowadays, if we are planning to chant from tomorrow, we will chant without any diversion of concentration and all that. But tomorrow, when we have any other thing coming up, then we will forget what we have taken, the O we have taken today. But he was not like that. He was very strong. At that age, he planned to leave that place, Mataji. So he left everything and he prepared himself to leave. That is one thing. And the second thing is he selected Parikshit Maharaj because he was as equal as him in the quality, following the dharma, and he was also well trained. That's why he was selected, Mataji. Those points I remember. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
And we also saw we should not stick on to the same place. Like Yudhishthira Maharaj, we have to, he did not stick on to the same place, family and all that, material desires throughout his life. At that age, he quit his life. Similarly, we have to plan ourselves and we have to engage ourselves in devotional service, putting down all our material desires. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Especially from 55 years to 60 years, we have to go for Vanaprastha. We have to leave everything and we have to go for that. It's a very important point we saw in detail.
Okay. So we have to leave everything means what? We have to leave our house?
Means we have to leave it to the younger generation responsibility and we have to fully focus on the spiritual realization.
Correct. So Prabhupada told us that we need not leave our home because in
Yes.
Kali Yuga it is not possible to go to forest like these people did, like Yudhishthir Maharaj or Parikshit Maharaj. He went on the bank of Ganges. But for us is we have to renounce all the material attachments and our responsibilities, correct? And we should give it to younger generation, correct? Yes, thank you so much, Mataji. So we will start with today's session. Today we'll start with verse number 41. Who wants to recite? Yes.
I'll start, Mataji.
Dhanashri Mataji wants to recite now.
Okay, okay.
No, Mataji, Sindhu Mataji can read. She recites very nicely. Mataji, it's okay. I will read the purport or translation, etc.
No problem, Mataji. You all can learn to recite like her.
Yeah, all are reciting well, Mataji.
Okay, okay.
You are reciting very nicely, Mataji. Please recite.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Bol, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. 1.5.41. Vacham juhava manasi tatprana itare chatam mritya apanam shochargam tam panchatvehi ajohavet.
Yes, Mataji, you can read the translation.
Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Then he amalgamated all the sense organs into the mind, then the mind into life, life into breathing, his total existence into the embodiment of the 5 elements, and his body into death. Then, as pure self, he became free from the material conception of life. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes, Dhanashri Mataji, you can read the purport.
Yes. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam.
No.
Purport by Sri Prabhupada, Sri Prabhupada Ji ki jai. Maharaja Yudhishthira, like his brother Arjuna, began to concentrate and gradually became freed from all material bondage. First, he concentrated all the actions of the senses and amalgamated them into the mind. Or, in other words, he turned his mind toward the transcendental service of the Lord. He prayed that since all material activities are performed by the mind in terms of actions and reactions of the material senses, and since he was going back to Godhead, the mind would wind up its material activities and be turned towards the transcendental service to the Lord. There was no longer a need for material activities. Actually, the activities of the mind cannot be stopped, for they are the reflection of the eternal soul. But the quality of the activities can be changed from matter to the transcendental service of the Lord. The material color of the mind is changed when one washes it from contaminations of life breathing and thereby frees it from the contamination of repeated births and deaths and situates it in pure spiritual life. All is manifested by the temporary embodiment of the material body, which is the production of the mind at the time of death. And if the mind is purified by practice of transcendental loving service to the Lord and is constantly engaged in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, there is no more chance of the mind producing another material body after death. It will be freed from absorption in material contamination. The pure soul will be able to return home back to Godhead. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So Yudhishthir Maharaj, he is free from material conception of life. Means he has freed himself from bodily conception of life, and by mystic yogic process, he is trying to perform devotional service to the Lord. Correct? He is withdrawing his senses and sense objects, and he brought them into mind. Then he went on more subtler level, and then he brought his consciousness, his awareness, until he came to the subtlest platform of material ingredients, and then he merged that into death. Now, that doesn't mean that physically he died. So that means that he completely detached himself from any conception outside of Krishna consciousness. He detached himself and made himself dead from any selfish desires of this material world. And Prabhupada also mentions in the purport that that means he turned his mind toward the transcendental service of the Lord. So the mind, we know that the activities of mind cannot be stopped, but we can just dawdle them in the service of Krishna. Stopping is not possible. We can change them from material activities to transcendental activities. So this mind, Prabhupada talks about mind in this purport, that this mind is very difficult. We know Arjuna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, how the mind is chanchal, it is pramathi, it is balavad, it is drudham. So it is very difficult to conquer the mind, and it has innumerable desires, and this mind has dual functionality. If the mind can become our greatest friend or our greatest enemy, correct? It can cause bondage in this material world, or it can liberate us. Like, for example, knife has also dual functionality. It can kill somebody, or it can save somebody's life. Or fire can take away life, and fire can give life also. Correct? When the dead body is burnt, the fire takes away that body. And how it can help in giving, how it can give life to us? Can anybody?
By means of
Cook
cooking
with
food, Mataji.
cooking, yeah, that's what I think.
Yes, correct. So we are cooking, so fire is required, and also in our stomach, Jatharagni is there, which helps in digestion of the food. So that way, fire can give us life. So similarly, the mind, if we train our mind in spiritual consciousness, then it can liberate us. And if we train our mind for material enjoyment, then it can entangle us in this cycle of birth and death. So we have to train our mind because our next birth depends upon the desires in the mind. So I heard in a lecture this acronym MIND, know what it stands for. So MIND, MIND. So M stands for it magnifies our problems. Even if the problem is small, it magnifies it. And because of that, anything can happen. I mean, disastrous things can happen. Like for IIT, for an IIT student, if he gets second rank, correct? So we all know that getting second rank is how difficult in IIT. But because the mind is so what we can say so chanchal or so disaster, I mean, it can think of such things that second rank is I mean, he did not get first rank, so that fellow may commit suicide also. So disturbing our mind is. So it magnifies the problems. Then it imagines pleasures. Okay. So if we get a big gift, okay, so then immediately we start thinking that what can be there inside and how happy I will become if I see that gift. Correct? So the bigger is the gift, the more we imagine pleasures about it, isn't it? So there is a small story. Once a young boy, he was he had one cow, and he was taking the milk from that cow, and he was going to sell it and earn money from that. So he was taking that pot, and on the way he was thinking that I will sell this and I will get money. Then in few days I will acquire so much money that I will buy another cow, then I will get more money. And uh, if I keep earning like this, then one day I will have my goshala, and no, I will buy a big house, and I will have family. And all these things he were imagining, and in that he was thinking that, and if my wife will not listen to me, I will beat her with stick. And so he started beating. No, he was imagining all these things in his mind, and he started beating. And what he was beating? The pot he was carrying. Okay, so that pot also he broke in that imagination. So this mind, it imagines pleasures. Okay, and then N is for it neglects opportunities. Like sometimes I mean, there is opportunity for us to attend a satsang, or we tell many people that come to the temple or attend this program, but people just neglect the opportunities because of their mind. And then D is for it denies reality. So what is the reality is we are not this body, but we are the spirit soul. So it doesn't understand that, and it remains in the bodily concept of life. And because of that, what happens is we face the sufferings in this life because of dualities, like happiness, distress, pleasure, pain, heat, cold. So all these sufferings come due to the desires in mind. So it is very important to control our mind. And to control the mind, we know we have to engage it constantly in the service of the Lord. Correct? So if we should not keep any space for mind to dwell on the other things of this material world. Like for example, when there is this book marathon month, the month of December, when we distribute books. So in that month, we are totally busy, no? thinking of new ideas to distribute books, and we are going out on the roads and planning and going and distributing books. So we are totally busy. Our mind is fully occupied with that only. Such services, or during the festivals also, like Janmashtami or Radhashtami, or now Narsiya Chaturdashi is going to come this Sunday. So when festivals come, again we are totally busy in the sevas. So see, in the similar way, we have to engage our mind in services as far as possible, so that the mind is not distracted and it doesn't go here and there. And one more thing is prayers. So prayers removes wrong desires from our mind. So they are also very important, right? So in this way, we can try to train our mind, because we know that death is the biggest exam, correct? And if we don't train our mind is like exam paper. So if we don't train the mind properly, then we may have to take birth again and again in this material world. Uh, and then, yeah. Then let's go to the next verse. Yes, Deval Mataji, you can recite.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji, Tanvat Pranam.
Dhanavad.
Yes. तत्त्वे हुत्वा च पञ्चत्वं तच्चैकत्वे जुहोमुनिः सर्वमात्मन्यजुह्वीत् ब्रह्मण्यात्मानमन् अव्यये. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus annihilating the gross body of 5 elements into the 3 qualitative modes of material nature, he merged them in one nescience and then absorbed that nescience in the self Brahman, which is inexhaustible in all circumstances. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, can somebody? Yes, Maumita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Mataji, can you scroll down little?
Yeah. Scroll down or scroll
Up, sorry, up.
Yes. Can you see now?
Yeah, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All that is manifested in the material world is the product of the Mahatattva, Avyakta, and things that are visible in our material vision are nothing but combinations and permutations of such variegated material products. But the living entity is different from such material products. It is due to the living entity's forgetfulness of his eternal nature as eternal servitor of the Lord, and his false conception of being so-called Lord of the material nature, that he is obliged to enter into the existence of false sense enjoyment. Thus a concomitant generation of material energies is the principal cause of the mind's being material affected. Thus, the gross body of 5 elements is produced. Maharaja Yudhishthira reversed the action and merged the 5 elements of the body in the 3 modes of material nature. The qualitative distinction of the body as being good, bad, or mediocre is extinguished, and again the qualitative manifestations become merged in the material energy, which is produced from a false sense of the pure living being. When one is thus inclined to become an associate of the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, in one of the innumerable planets of the spiritual sky, especially in Golaka Vrindavana, one has to think always that he is different from the material energy. He has nothing to do with it, and he has to realize himself as the pure spirit, Brahman, qualitatively equal with the Supreme Brahman, Parmeshwara. Maharaja Yudhishthira, after distributing his kingdom to Parikshit and Vajra, did not think himself emperor of the world or head of the Kuru dynasty. This sense of freedom from material relations, as well as freedom from the material engagement of the gross and subtle in encirclement makes one free to act as the servitor of the Lord, even though one is in the material world. This stage is called the Jivan Mukta stage or the liberated stage, even in the material world. That is the process of ending material existence. One must not only think that he is Brahman, but must act as Brahman. One who only thinks himself Brahman is an impersonalist, and one who acts like Brahman is the pure devotee. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Krishna, thank you, Mataji. So again, on the previous verse, how he amalgamated and how he is withdrawing everything, that is further explained in this verse also. So Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was highly qualified personality, and he performed this incredible mystic feat for reversing the whole process of creation. So material creation has been set in motion by Mahavishnu through his glance, and Mahatattva is created. And first subtle element created is the false ego, and then the other like ether, air, fire, water, earth. And in this way, he facilitates each Jivatma a material, gross, and subtle body. And Maharaj Yudhishthir, by his developed consciousness, he was able to merge the earth element of his body to water element to fire element to air element to ether element to false ego. And then he merged false ego back into Mahat Tattva, and then he merged that back into the loving service of the Lord. So we can understand that this is very difficult for us to do. It is a very technical also and very difficult. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he said, just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So just chant this and I will perform all those other details on your behalf. Correct? Because it is so difficult in this age of Kali. We know the Yuga Dharmas of different Yugas. So Kali Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is chanting with love and devotion. Correct? And it has to be done in the mood of service, understanding our eternal position as part and parcel of the Lord and as his eternal servant. So we can achieve this by just chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So the process has made so simple for us. Then we can go to the next shloka. Yes. Who wants to recite? Yes, any? Okay, Bhargavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Chiravasa niraharo Bhaddavan mukta murtajaha Darshayan atmano rupam Jadonmatta pisachavat Anavekshamano niragad Ashrunvan vadiro yada.
Yes.
Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After that, Maharaja Yudhishthira dressed himself in torn clothing, gave up eating all solid foods, voluntarily became dumb, and let his hair hang loose. All this combined to make him look like an urchin or madman with no occupation. He did not depend on his brothers for anything, and just like a deaf man, he heard nothing. Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranams.
Yes, somebody can read the purport.
Hare Krishna
May
Mataji.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Okay,
Sorry,
now. Okay, now Kishori Mataji, you can read the purport.
thank you, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Sorry.
No.
To forward by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus, being freed from all external affairs, he had nothing to do with the imperial life or family prestige and for all practical purposes. He posed himself exactly inert, made richer and did not speak of material affairs. He had no dependence on his brother, who had all along been helping him. This stage of complete independence from everything is also called the purified stage or of fearlessness. Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Yes. Now Yudhishthir Maharaj has dressed himself in torn clothing. Just imagine Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was the king of the entire world. He was the emperor, and he used to dress so opulently when Krishna was there. And now he dressed himself in torn clothing, chirava, chiravasa, niraharo. Then he gave up eating all solid foods. Now, solid foods generally they give us energy, and two things give us give strength to senses are there, sugar and salt. And if one is unable to control sense gratification, then we have to reduce sugar and salt. So solid food gives energy to the body. If there is no much physical activity, then we should eat meager food. And Yudhishthir Maharaj is now renouncing everything. So he renounced that solid food also. And then Baddhava, he became dumb. Correct? So one more personality we have heard in Srimad Bhagavatam with similar, he was acting similarly. Can you tell who is that?
Dhruva Maharaj.
Not
Jada Bharat Mataji.
Jada Bharat.
Jada Bharat, correct? So he was externally, he was showing the same symptoms as, similar symptoms as Yudhishthir Maharaj. He was also acting like a dumb, deaf man, and people were making fun of him, and his brothers were not troubling him, but still he did not, he never paid attention to them. But internally, we know that he was a self-realized soul. So Yudhishthir Maharaj also externally, though he actually he was king of the whole world, but still he is accepting voluntarily becoming dumb. Why? Because when we speak material things or mundane things, then unnecessarily we may come into trouble, we may commit mistakes, we may insult others, we may offend others. So generally, it is good to restrict our speech and hear nice things and speak only Krishna Katha, glories of Lord. So Yudhishthir Maharaj is doing the same thing because he has already withdrawn all his senses and mind and physically. He's not dead physically, but he has detached from all the things of this material world, and so he is acting like a dumb man that he doesn't want to speak anything other than Krishna, and he is just meditating on the Lord in his heart. Correct? And then he is looking like a madman, and it is said that he did not depend on his brothers who were no, always with him. So at some point of time, one has to, it is said that one has to fly his own plane. I mean, one has to, when the aeroplane is on the ground, there is ground staff who is taking care of all the things. But at one point of time, one alone has to fly it. Correct? So similarly, Yudhishthir Maharaj is not depending on his brothers anymore, and he is leaving the palace. So Yudhishthir Maharaj, who ruled the kingdom with such dutifulness and such meticulousness. So when he heard that Lord has left this planet and went back to his abode, instantaneously, like we on off a switch, instantaneously he is renouncing everything. He is taking off from all these affairs, and he is living. So the real meaning of this, it indicates that he was already performing all these affairs. He was already performing all the affairs with that spirit of detachment. He was highly dutiful as well as he was highly detached. Correct? That we should understand. And therefore, he could renounce all these things immediately. Otherwise, we know in this material world how difficult it is to renounce the things. Simple things, we cannot, no, we cannot give it up because our mind is attached to those things. Or leaders, current leaders, they don't want to, no, leave their post, leave their position till the age of 80, 85, 90 also they want to just work, and they want to become they want that popularity and fame and name and position. Correct? They don't want to live. And because of that, all politics is going on in the world today, isn't it? So it is very difficult to renounce position. And imagine, they are just no holding the position for a state or for a country. But here we see that Yudhishthir Maharaj is the king of the entire world. But still he could do that because he was in that consciousness throughout his life. Always it was they always Yudhishthir Maharaj or Pandavas, they always aligned their will with the will of the Lord. So we see that when Abhimanyu was killed in the battle of Kurukshetra, they all were very deeply grief stricken. But next day they fought enthusiastically. Why? Because it was um, it was wish of the Lord. It was will of the Lord. So Krishna wanted to show the world that what is a real devotee. Whatever may happen around a devotee, he always remains completely faithful to the service of the Lord. He never loses his faith in the Lord. So they went on fighting and remembering the Lord and chanting his names. So that was the consciousness of them, and throughout their lives, they were no, cultivating this consciousness, and because of that, Yudhishthir Maharaj is able to renounce everything in a moment. He did not even think of I should wait for some more days and then I should go. Nothing. As we have example of Parikshit Maharaj also. Immediately he renounced everything and he went to the bank of Ganges. So these are these are the great self-realized people, and so he could do this immediately, and he could renounce everything. Srila Prabhupada was giving an example in one of his lectures that there was a rich man in Calcutta, and he was fined by British government, and he became a very poor man then. And within few months, he died because he could not tolerate, because the way opulently he was living, or his lifestyle was such that he could not tolerate that now he cannot live like that. Correct? So we don't hear this of Yudhishthir Maharaj. He was the emperor of the whole world, but voluntarily he is giving up everything. Why? Because he has that detachment in him from the beginning. Correct? Because they have aligned their will with the will of the Lord. Then only one can get such detachment. And yeah, one. So though we feel that it happened instantaneously, but it is for Yudhishthir Maharaj, it is smooth because the whole his whole life he is carrying that consciousness in his mind, that he is working only for the pleasure of Lord. Uh, Krishna wanted him to become the king, so he became the king. Correct? Otherwise, he was not ready to become the king also. So that is the thing. And so for him, the transition is smooth because always he was in that consciousness only. And one more point Prabhupada mentions in the purport is this stage of complete independence from everything is also called the purified stage of fearlessness. So this fear in our life, we have this fear always. The more we have, the more fear we have. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj says. Because materialistic people think that if I collect more, if I earn more, then I'll be more safe, I'll be more secured. But the more we possess, the more we have, the more we have fear for losing it. Correct? So in the beginning of our job, our salary is less, so we are not that much fearful. But later, in later stages, when we are highly paid, and we feel that we are more secured and more safe now, but at the same time we have fear of losing all those things, losing that job and losing that money. So this actually this material world is a place of fear only. There is a Sanskrit Subhashitam. I'll just say two, three things from that. That one who is enjoying in this material world, he has more fear of diseases, getting diseased. If he is overeating, problem of digestion, correct? Or whatever. So he is enjoying more and more, he is having more fear of diseases. Then one who is born in Uchakul, aristocratic family, they have fear of falling down. Then one who is having lot of money, he has fear of paying taxes to the government. Correct? Government is behind him. He should pay more and more taxes. Then who is very beautiful, he has fear of old age and losing his beauty. So it is said that all cosmetic industry is running on this fear only. Correct, because everybody is no fearful that they should no they should look good, they should look beautiful, and if they don't do all these things, then they will become old or they will look old or something like that. And so that the industry is running on that because they want to do, they want to decorate their body always. So here we see that Yudhishthir Maharaj is fearless. He is not at all hesitating while renouncing all these things. So how can we also become fearless? Only if we take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhajahu Remana Sri Nandanandana Abhaya Charana Ravindare. Only when we take shelter of the Lord, then we can become fearless. Then only fear will go. So, yes, so Yudhishthir Maharaj is now, he will go to the forest. So let's go to the next. Yes. Yes, Swarupini Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, Sadapranam. Udichin pravivesham gata purvam mahatmabihi Hridhi Brahma Param Dhyayan Navarteta Yato Gataha. Translation. He then started towards the north, trending the path accepted by his forefathers and great men, to devote himself completely to the thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he lived in that way wherever he went. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. It is understood from this verse that Maharaja Yudhishthira followed in the footsteps of his forefathers and the great devotees of the Lord. We have discussed many times before that the system of Dharma, as it was strictly followed by the inhabitants of the world, specifically by those who inhabited the Aryavarta province of the world, emphasizes the importance of leaving all household connections at a certain stage of life. The training and education was so imparted, and thus a respectful person like Maharaja Yudhishthira had to leave all family connection for self-realization and going back to Godhead. No king or respectful gentleman would continue family life till the end, because that was considered suicidal and against the interest of the perfection of human life. In order to free from all family encumbrances and devote oneself 100% in the devotional service of the Lord Krishna, this system is always recommended for everyone because it is the path of authority. The Lord instructs in the Bhagavad Gita 18.62 that one must become a devotee of the Lord at least at the last stage of one's life. A sincere soul of the Lord, like Maharaja Yudhishthira, must abide by this instruction of the Lord for his own interest. The specific words Brahma Param indicate Lord Krishna. This is corroborated in the Bhagavad Gita 10.13 by Arjuna with reference to great authorities like Asita, Devala, Narada, and Vyasa. Thus, Maharaja Yudhishthira, while couldn't see that. While leaving home from the north, constantly remembered Lord Sri Krishna within himself, following the footsteps of his forefathers as well as great devotees of all times. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here, the secret of his detachment is given. Rudhi Brahma Param Dhyayan. He was completely absorbed in the thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so he could detach himself and he could renounce everything. And one more thing is, it is understood from this verse that Maharaj Yudhishthir followed in the footsteps of his forefathers and great devotees of the Lord. So he is following the parampara, and also how he is setting example for the citizens of the for his citizens, we can say, how a leader should be, correct? So we should set right example before the praja, so that they also can follow in those footsteps and attain perfection of life. So leaders have no, this function, and they should guide the society in that way. And all these kings, Parikshit Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, Lord Ramchandra, so all of them, they were ideal kings, and they really set a good example in front of all the praja, so that they also can, they guided them to become self-realized and perfect their lives. And so we see that in all kingdoms of all of them, the praja, the citizens were very happy. Correct. So that is one thing. So how a leader should be, that Yudhishthir Maharaj is telling by his own example. And Prabhupada is also talking about Varnashram Dharma here, the strictly followed by inhabitants of the world. So how this Varnashram Dharma is so strong and so powerful, that it can lead to the perfection of life. So first is Brahmachari. The child used to go to Gurukul, correct? And he used to follow Brahmachari ashram for 20-25 years. And there he used to learn how to serve the spiritual master, how to engage in various activities that please the Lord. He would study Shastras, and he would read Shastras, and he would do menial services like cleaning the floor, cleaning the vessels, and whatever he used to get for eating, he would eat that. Correct? No tantrums like children make nowadays. So that was that is how the children were cultivated. Correct? And then he will enter into the Grihastha life. he will practice this God-centered or Krishna consciousness life, and he will teach his children also how to the process of devotional service. Correct? That way, he will lead his family life, and then he will earn money. He will no, he will fulfill all his responsibilities, definitely, but he will also be God conscious uh, every time. And then as the children are grown up, then when they take responsibility of their life, then the person will enter vanaprastha. That means he will detach himself from these material activities or these family affairs, and he will concentrate on engagement in the service of the Lord. He will associate with devotees, and then last is the sannyas ashram. So if we see in sannyas ashram, he will preach the message of God. So in all these, we see that this was the traditional system, and how perfect it is, so that a person can develop God consciousness throughout his life. Correct? And he was trained so perfectly in the childhood itself in Brahmachari ashram, so that in his Grihastha life also, he is not greedy or he is not hankering for more and more. Correct? And he is God centered throughout his life. So this was the traditional system, but nowadays we see that it has, I mean, no such system exists now, and materially people are more interested in enjoyment and earning more and more money, and using it for their sense gratification. So that is the degradation which is happening because they are not trained properly. But in case of these kings, great kings who are, we can call them as Raja Rishis, because they are saintly kings. They are not just protecting and taking care of their subjects or citizens, but they are helping them for their spiritual advancement also. So that's why um, they are called as Raja Rishis. So Yudhishthir Maharaj is and yeah, Prabhupada writes this one sentence, that no king or respectable gentleman would continue family life till the end, because that was considered suicidal and against the interest of the perfection of human life. So these kings, they were aware what is the perfection of human life. Correct? Um, so this material world is just a stepping stone to go to the spiritual world. It is like Jesus Christ said that this material world is like a bridge. So you just have to cross that and go to the spiritual world. It is not that you have to stay there for years and years. Correct? That is the thing. So they knew the ultimate goal of life. They knew what is the perfection of human life. And so they could guide the people, uh, the common man, and they could help them in attaining perfection of their lives also. So so such great leaders were there at that time. Yudhishthir Maharaj is one of them. So let's go to the last verse for today. Yes. Archana Mataji, you want to recite?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Sarve tam anunirjagmur भ्रातरकृतनिश्चयाः कलिना धर्ममित्रेण दृष्ट्वा स्पष्टा प्रजा Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The younger brothers of Maharaja Yudhishthira observed that the age of Kali had already arrived throughout the world, and that the citizens of the kingdom were already affected by irreligious practice. Therefore, they decided to follow in the footsteps of their elder brother. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Mataji.
Yes, can somebody read the purport?
Shall I
Divya
read?
Desai Mataji is raising her hand.
Yes, Divya Mataji.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The younger brothers of Maharaja Yudhishthira were already obedient followers of the great emperor, and they had sufficiently been trained to know the ultimate goal of life. They therefore decidedly followed their eldest brother in rendering devotional service to the Lord Sri Krishna. According to the principles of Sanatana Dharma, one must retire from family life after half the duration of life is finished and must engage himself in self realization. But the question of engaging oneself is not always decided. Sometimes retired men are bewildered about how to engage themselves for the last days of life. Here is a decision by authorities like the Pandavas. All of them engage themselves in favorably culturing the devotional service of the Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Swami Sridhara, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha or fruitive activities, philosophical speculations, and salvations as conceived by several persons are not the ultimate goal of life. They are more or less practiced by persons who have no informations of the ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is already indicated by Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 18.64, and the Pandavas were intelligent enough to follow it without hesitation. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Thank you, Mataji. So 2 points here. Younger brothers of Maharaj Yudhishthir, they also decidedly follow him. So they had, as it is mentioned, that they were sufficiently being trained, correct? Because Yudhishthir Maharaj, as just now we saw that how great leader, how ideal leader he was a perfect king. He was a devotee of Lord, and he knew the goal of life, and he was himself rendering service to Lord Krishna. So, seeing all these, they had everything. So they had training, they had guidance, and they had perfect example of Yudhishthir Maharaj in front of them. And so they did not stay back, they followed him. They did not think that now the king is gone, so we will get opportunity to become king. One of us can become the king. And they did not think all these things because as we see, these five brothers, although they were five different personalities, but they were all one in their voice. They were always together, and especially they were very famous for their loyalty to their eldest brother Yudhishthir Maharaj. So, not only in prosperity, but even in this stage of life, when Yudhishthir Maharaj is renouncing everything, they chose his path only. And everyone followed that path of renunciation. And Prabhupada is also mentioning that sometimes retired men are bewildered about what to do, correct? Because lot of time is there, and because of lack of guidance, correct? Because they don't know, they are not trained. As I said, Varnashram system is the foolproof system, right? So how people are cultivated from childhood till the last stage of life, how they are trained continuously to remain God conscious, that is the Varnashram system. But in Kali Yuga, the Kali Yuga is, we know that it is it is already degrading, and as the time passes, it will degrade more and more. And so people are not aware of this thing, and so people engage their life in they spend their life in not spend, they waste their life. They keep traveling around the world, or material enjoyment they keep doing, because they are not trained. But we see here that Pandava's brother, Yudhishthira's brother, how they are trained by Yudhishthir Maharaj, so that they are renouncing everything and they are following in his footsteps. And one more thing is, Prabhupada is talking about ultimate goal of life. Prabhupada uses this word 4 times in this purport. Correct? So when something is repeated, we understand that it is the important thing. For we also, while disciplining our children, we repeat the things again and again, so that they get they get impression that this is the right thing, what is right, what is wrong. It gets fixed in their mind. Correct? So Prabhupada is also repeating that what is the ultimate goal of life. So he is saying that dharma, artha, kama, moksha. This is not the ultimate goal of life. Uh, this is um, uh, this is followed by the people who are materialistic people who are not aware of the ultimate goal of life. Correct? But the ultimate goal of life is, yes, we have been saying this in so many lectures. So what is the
Go back to Godhead. Back
correct?
to God.
Correct. To attain the love of Krishna or go back home, back to Godhead, because that is our real home, we can say. So we should try for that ultimate goal of life. And how we can do that is by performing loving devotional service to the Lord. In Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, Krishna says, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So what is the supreme dharma for all humanity is unmotivated and uninterrupted devotional service to the Lord. Correct? So this Srila Prabhupada, through this Krishna consciousness movement, has given us this process. Correct? How we can achieve the ultimate goal of life. Correct? Navavidha Bhakti Vino Shravan Kirtan Smaran Vandan, and how to engage in the service of the Lord. So many, I mean, is in ISKCON, from the small child to the eldest person, they can get engagement in the service of the Lord. Correct? So the elder one also, if he is not able to do much activity, still he can just sit and serve Charanamrut to everyone. Correct? And the young children, young people, they can do a lot of physical activities like book distribution, kirtan. Everybody can go on Nagar Sankirtan, and they can distribute prasad and whatnot. So everybody, all ages, people of all ages can get engagement in Krishna in ISKCON, because yes, because everybody, so that everybody can get engagement in the service of the Lord, right? So the thing is, what we can learn from today's verses, just to conclude, that Yudhishthir Maharaj, why he could renounce so immediately. Why? Because he was cultivating that consciousness throughout his life. It is said that it was not a moment that when they did not remember the Lord in their heart. So there was constant remembrance of the Lord. And because of that, because they aligned their will with the will of the Lord, he could instantaneously renounce everything, though he was at such a great position. And he set an ideal example for all his citizens to follow. And his brothers also followed him. And last one is how we can achieve the ultimate goal of life, that is by performing loving devotional service to the Lord. And in the form of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Prabhupada has given us this simple way of ABCD, correct, by which we can the Kali Yuga people, we know that how we are Manda, Sumanda, Matayo, Manda Bhagya, correct? So we are always disturbed, we are unlucky, we are misguided, and we are lazy. So for this Kali Yuga people, Prabhupada is a savior, and he has given us this process of Krishna consciousness so that we can achieve the ultimate goal of life. So Hare Krishna, thank you so much for patiently hearing. And if you have any comments, if you want to share.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. Mataji, I just have a silly doubt. I don't know.
Yes.
We have been seeing about Yudhishthir Maharaj and Prithvi Maharaj. All of them are same, Mataji. Like, what is the difference? I mean,
In the sense, Mataji?
Yuga difference or?
Yes, Mataji.
Yuga only, right?
Okay. Different kalpas, Mataji. Because
Kalpas.
in one day of Brahma also there are so many kalpas are
Kings,
there. And Pandavas came in Dwapar Yuga, Prithu Maharaj in Satya Yuga, Mataji.
Okay, okay. That's what I was wondering. Prithvi Maharaj, Satya Yuga. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Can we recite the slokas or any devotees having any questions?
Yeah, just if no questions, then we can recite the shlokas. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. May I share the screen for sloka recitation?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Those who would like to recite the shlokas, please raise your hands. I will share in few minutes.
After Dhanashri Mataji, I think she gave me the compliment. After she told, I feel like reciting all the slokas.
You are always enthusiastic, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji, I love to read all the slokas. In fact, even in the evening sessions and all, I will request them. 2 pages will be there, no slokas. So they will give it to me automatically. Okay, Sindhu will read. Like that, I love to read slokas, Mataji. I don't know why.
Seeing you, they are also learning, Mataji. So maybe next time.
They are all reciting, Mataji. But just the shyness, I think, that's starting trouble.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Who is willing to start? Hare Krishna.
Sindhu Mataji is starting. And
Yes,
then
Mataji. That's what I'm saying. I'll read all the slokas at one stretch. But everyone should get the opportunity.
Yes, give chance to others also. So you recite. How many shlokas we have to recite, Mataji?
2 each, Mataji. 2 each.
2 each. Okay. Yes, you can start, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji.
Start should always.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Shloka 1.5.11. Tadvad Vishargo Janataga Viplavo Yasmin Prati Shlokam Abaddavatyapi Namani Anantasya Yashon Kitaniyat Shrinvanti Gayanti Gritnanti Sadavaha. 1.5.17. Vaktva Swadharmam Charanambujam Hare Bhajan Apakvota Patetato Yadi Yatra Pava Bhadram Abhyutamushyakim Ovarta Apto Bhajatam Swadharmataha.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Bhargavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Tasyeva heto prayateta kovido na labhyate yad brahmatam upari adaha tallabhyate dukkavad anyatah sukam kalena sarvatra gabira ramhasa. Idam hi pumsas tapasah shrutasya va swishtasya suktasya cha buddhidattayoh avichyutortah kavibhir nirupito yat uttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji. Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
Mataji. Who is next?
Navakishori Mataji.
Hare
Navakishori
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
Mataji, Danvatana Mataji. Hare
And
Krishna. Shloka Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.38. इति मूर्त्यनुपीदानेन sorry Mataji. इति मूर्त्यनुपीदानेन मन्त्रमूर्ति. I forgot the tune, sorry.
इति मूर्त्यभिधानेन
जी. Yes, Mataji. इति मूर्त्यभिधानेन मन्त्रमूर्तिममूर्तिकम् यजते यज्ञपुरुषं स सम्यग् दर्शनः पुमान्. Sorry. भक्ति योगेन मनसि सम्यक् प्रणीते किमले य अपश्यत् पुरुषं पूर्णमायां च तदपाश्रयम. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for
Thank you,
helping me.
Mataji.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Who is next?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam Mataji. 175.
Yes, Prabhuji.
यया सम्मोहितो जीवा आत्मानं त्रिगुणात्मकं करोऽपि मनुते अनर्थं तत्कृतं चाभिपद्यते 6 अनर्थोपशमं साक्षात् भक्तियोगमदोक्षजे लोकस्य जानतो विद्वान् चक्रे सात्वत संहिताम्. हरे कृष्ण
Thank
माताजी
you,
प्रणाम
Prabhuji.
माताजी.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam, Prabhuji.
Divya Mataji.
Divya Mataji.
यस्यां वै श्रूयमाणायां कृष्णे परमपुरुषे भक्तिरुत्पद्यते पुंसः शोकमोहभयापहा. सुत उवाच आत्मा रामश्च मुनयो निर्ग्रहन्ता अप्युरुक्रमे कुर्वन्त्य हे हैतु किं भक्ति मित्थं भूत गुणो हरिः. हरे कृष्ण
Hare
माताजी.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
हाँ,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, dear devotees, for chanting. Thank you, Mataji, for giving us the opportunity. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you so much. Vancha
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपा
कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. ग्रंथराज भागवतम की जय. हरे कृष्ण माता जी.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.